Hello, I'm Jonathan from Heli, and I'll be your instructor for Heli School. And we're going to talk about the basics of furnace maintenance. Most important and easiest part of maintaining a furnace is changing your furnace filter at least every heating season. Furnaces can't heat your home unless they can move air, and if the furnace filter is clogged, it generally causes the furnace to overheat and shut down. Now, I recommend a good quality pleated furnace filter for most applications, and you want to pick one up from your building supply store or heating contractor. And as you install it, you just want to make sure that the arrow points towards the furnace or in the direction of the airflow. So we're just going to make sure the arrows point to the right way, install that furnace filter, and that's going to keep dust out of your home and going to keep the blower and other components in your furnace nice and clean. Now, second, general cleanliness. Dirt is your enemy and cleanliness is next to godliness. So remember to keep your furnace clean. You can always use a shop vac to clean the top of the furnace. You can open up the inside, clean the inside of the furnace as well as around the base. Now, this is especially true for a mid-efficient furnace where it draws combustion air from the space. With any dirt being around the furnace, if you're drawing that dirt through the combustion chamber, it can foul up the flame rod and the hot surface igniter. So you want to make sure you clean that off as well annually. As well, your thermostat you want to take a look at to make sure that the batteries are new every heating season. Or whenever you see the battery icon on the thermostat, you want to change that so that it doesn't go out when you're away on vacation. And then in a high efficiency furnace, you want to just take a look at the condensate pump if you do have one, or in this case the condensate would just run off to the floor drain. Now, a high efficiency furnace gets the high efficiency from getting the flue gases to condense, which is on the secondary heat exchanger on the bottom. You can see here it just drains off to the floor drain, but if you do have a condensate pump, you can always pour some water in there and just make sure that the pump cycles properly. Now, I've already pulled off the cover off the combustion box on this one. You won't need to do that on your own furnace. You can generally just cycle it and look through the sight glass, but for the video it looks a little easier here. So let's watch the heating cycle. First, the venter motor is going to turn on, clears off any products in combustion in the combustion chamber. Next, the hot surface igniter is going to start to glow. As that hot surface igniter starts to glow, the gas valve is going to open, give gas the manifold, and it's proven across onto the flame rod, which is right there. Now, the flame rod is another piece of the furnace that we should generally clean annually. The flame rod being the part of the furnace that actually proves the flame. Flame rods basically take a signal from your control board, and through a process of flame rectification, the signal goes to ground, and that microamp signal ends up being the signal that proves the flame in the furnace. And it is a very small signal, so you want to make sure that this flame rod is generally as clean as can be. This one, I've taken the screw out. You can use a light rag or a very, very fine piece of sandcloth if it's heavily fouled. Now, after you've cleaned that, we're just going to reinstall it the same way. We're going to put the flame rod back in there. We'll be careful with the porcelain to make sure that we don't crack anything. We're going to put that screw back in there and tighten that back up. Now we'll go through and cycle it again. Now you can see that it's going to sit down properly there. Just snug, you don't have to over tighten it, it just holds it in place. Now again, we'll watch the cycle of the furnace. Venter motor is going to come on. The hot surface igniter is going to start to glow. Then the gas valve will give the burner's gas, and the flame is proved across the flame rod. Now you want to make sure that that is a steady process. It doesn't cycle, turn on and off. The flame looks like it's stable, not a lot of yellowing in the flame. and when the furnace fan kicks on, you don't see the big wave in the flames. Now here you can see that the heat exchanger is a little bit corroded around where the burners are. That's a little bit of a concern, but as long as there's not too much scale there and that the heat exchanger is still intact, you can always have a professional come in and take a look at the heat exchanger to make sure that everything is in good working order and that a little bit of corrosion isn't signs of a bigger problem. I want you to remember that if you smell gas, see any signs of poor venting like black sooting or staining around the combustion chamber or draft diverters, call a professional. Poor flame characteristics as well require professional attention, and if there's any sign of heat exchanger corrosion or vent gases that can be smelt in the area or in the home, it can be signs of failed heat exchanger or other problems that require immediate heat, or any other regular operation required, called professional. Carbon dioxide is a very real health concern, and a CO detector is always a great idea in the space or in the hallway adjacent. And we hope this time was useful for you to protect one of your biggest investments in your home, and we hope you enjoyed Heli School. Have a good day.